Hey everyone, it's me. This is the 10th furry interview I'm doing, and this time it is zillion of imaginative, unimaginative, imagine. I can't say that properly because I'm way too tired. Um, yeah, his channel is linked down below. It was actually pretty good to talk to him about his you know stuff about the furry fandom and how he went through it. This one is a little bit long. Well, then again, he did have some pretty good questions. Well, I mean answers. I was the one answering the questions. I don't know why I'm doing that. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy the video. Okay, so right now I've got zillion. He's also another furry YouTuber, but this time he's not showing his face because. What's your reason again?
So the reason I don't show my face is just because it's not necessary for my videos. It's not necessary for what I do. I'm also prefer to be behind the camera than in front of it. I'm not particularly... I don't like seeing my face on camera, and the less I have to edit of my face, the better. So no face is quite nice for that.
Okay. And yeah, I'm just going to ask some questions. How did you find the furry fandom?
It's not a particularly easy question to ask. It's one that I've been asked quite constantly, and I wish it was as simple as I looked up werewolves on the internet and scrolled too far down on Google Images, but it's not. It's actually a combination of... I've always been infatuated with anthropomorphic animals for as long as I can remember, and I just kind of learned what the term was in high school when somebody saw me drawing an anthropomorphic dragon and was like, "Ew, are you a furry?" I'm just like, "What's that?" Went home, looked it up, and was like, that's kind of how I discovered it. How I became one is about maybe 3 years of just kind of figuring it out and getting more information until I think the final nail in the coffin was a YouTube channel called Damn Dog Games, which was a gaming channel that actually had very, very much a professional kind of gaming channel style and really terrible Vine compilations.
I mean,
from back when it was a thing.
Yeah, I actually love that channel.
Corey's an energetic fellow.
What were your first thoughts on the fandom?
Initially, I think in the back of my head, I was like, "This is it. This is what I've been looking for a very long time." But of course, the high schooler social acceptance seeker in me was looking at it like, "Ew, this is gross. I don't want anything to do with it. This is heathenism. This is disgraceful. This is degeneracy. Furry hate, furry hate, furry hate, furry hate," which is pretty normal. So I started off as a furry hater. I think that's safe to say.
Okay.
Now look at me.
Yeah. So you own a YouTube channel that is dedicated to drawing furry art.
Yeah, among other things, which is mostly furry related, just drawing. I try to make my videos not necessarily for drawing furry art. I think I have only one video that's specifically how to draw furries. Everything else is very much can be applied to anything and everything. And I do have a fair following that aren't furries who just want to learn how to draw, and I think that's really neat.
Okay. How did your family and friends react to you being a furry if they found out?
Interesting fact about that. My parents found out when I was trying to go to a furry convention in Chicago, MFF, actually in 2000. I think it was either 17 or 18. 18? No, 17. And what ended up happening is I'm not a particularly good liar, so I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Chicago to visit a few friends for a concert," and they just called me out of the blue and was like, "We're calling you out on your BS. What are you actually going to Chicago for? Are you dealing drugs?" And I just genuinely had to answer. It's like, "Okay, I'm a furry," and they're just like, "Okay, well, why don't you just tell us that from the beginning?" And it's just because So they reacted very calmly to it, and they're actually very supportive of the channel.
Okay.
Because they see me making money doing art and doing something that I genuinely enjoy. So they're just like, hell yeah. I have very supportive parents, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. Okay. What is your sexuality?
Oh, I didn't answer the friends part.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Yeah. With the friends, I think I've told some of them. I haven't told others. There's a group of friends who are like motorheads at my school that I'm obviously never going to tell, because even if they do accept it in a sense, I would never hear the end of it, and I just don't want to deal with the constant berating of terrible, terrible jokes. Some of my friends are furries themselves, so I'm around them. I tell them they drag me deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. And then some of my other friends, some of my older friends, told a couple, haven't told a couple. I think it's just by case basis. I'm generally pretty good at figuring out which ones will be okay with it and which ones won't. So most of them have reacted positively to it, even when they're like, "Oh yeah, it's not my cup of tea, but you do you." I haven't really had any particularly bad reactions, which I'm very happy about.
Okay. So, in other words, with motorheads, you're actually here in New Zealand. We call them bogans.
Bogans.
Mm.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. What is your sexuality?
My sexuality is I am asexual, which means I have no sexual attraction to male or female. One of the common misconceptions about sexuality is asexuality is that you can't feel love, but I do feel relationship attraction to the opposite gender. So I can, like, in a very lovey-dovey way, but not in a sexual way, feel attracted to women. So, yeah.
Okay. Why did you want to become a furry?
I think I've always had an infatuation with anthropomorphic creatures, and I think being able to let me think about this for a second. I think it's always been there, and only when I decided, oh, well, screw it, I'm not. Why am I hating this thing that I should love, or why am I holding back on this thing that I should do when I genuinely enjoy it? And I think the reason I genuinely enjoy it, or the day I kind of figured that out, was when I decided to ironically draw furry art just as kind of a joke in a sketchbook, and I genuinely enjoyed it. So from there, it was just oh, nuts, I actually like this. And then a couple of years of doing just that, just drawing, basically drawings that never have and will never be seen by anybody in my room alone. And that kind of just spark and interest in it. And then I kind of reached the point where I was like, I want to share this.
Okay.
And then I made a Tumblr for one day, deleted that Tumblr, and then created an Instagram. And it was amazing. It was fantastic. I had gotten more likes and more attention than I had in the 3 years that I'd been on DeviantArt at the time, in the first 3 weeks. And that was such a feeling of validation that I'd never felt before. And I felt like all that hard work in learning how to draw, in being able to learn skills and practice them, had all paid off for something. And that was such a great feeling.
Okay. What is your persona?
Well, my persona is Zillion. Zillion is a well, let's start off with what he was. Back before I joined the fandom, he was a demon because I had him with a tail that kind of tapered off with a fluffy tuft at the end, and just kind of like this generic anthropomorphized body. And it was this design is like no other animal looks like this, so we'll just call it a demon and go from there. After I developed him a bit more, I decided on Scoyote, which is the skunk coyote hybrid, which is pretty self-explanatory. Part skunk, part coyote, 100% trash. Pretty unique, but also not unique. So I guess you could say it was imaginatively unimaginative. Roll credits.
Roll credits moment right there.
And from there, he just kind of stayed this coyote for a while, and then last Christmas I decided to do this fun thing for the holidays where I changed Zillion into a reindeer, so the Zillion caribou, and I decided I liked the horns, so I kept them for this year, and so now he's a skunk coyote deer reindeer hybrid, so a skyotalope, kind of like a play on the word jackalope, but coyote alope, which objectively is
You're breaking up. You were just breaking up there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
My computer just went on, tried to go on sleep mode, but yes, skyotalope, which is objectively the stupidest phrase that's ever come out of my mouth.
Okay. What furry hate have you experienced, and can you be precise about it?
I haven't really experienced that type of hate. Normally, and I think it's because I'm not particularly open about it. I genuinely find large portions of the community very cringy, and I personally like to hold myself with a certain amount of what's the word? Let me think about it for a second. Dignity. Yeah, furry with dignity. That sounds like an oxymoron in and of itself, a catch-22.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily share it very much. It's not my entire life. It's not. In fact, it's not what I really want to do with my life. It's just ended up being a large portion of it due to the fact that college beat me to a bloody pulp. And
oh God, I can't wait for that.
It's the hardest. It's hard, but you're gonna want it. Whatever degree you're getting, you're gonna want it, and that's me. Man, I sound like a 5-year-old, not being able to come up with words. And I forgot the question. Oh boy.
Furry hate.
Oh yeah, furry hate. Well, I haven't really experienced it. I'm not particularly open about it. I'm very subtle about it. I'll sometimes wear the Stray Hyena agenda shirt on campus, but it's one that is very low key, and no one will notice unless they are furry themselves. Oh wait, no, I did experience some furry hate. My bad. It was a mountain biking video that I made on my YouTube channel where somebody was like, "Oh my god, the furries are part of the mountain biker community. God, I can't believe that we're getting these mentally impaired dog, you know."
Oh, you're allowed to swear on here.
Oh, okay, all right, dog fuckers, and that's a weight off my chest. Normally, I swear like a freaking sailor in my videos.
Oh,
and
I forgot to mention that you could.
Yeah, and I was like, this is the most hateful, wrong comment, just pure hateful comment I've ever seen on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna pin it. And so I did. And basically what ended up happening is I'm not going to respond to it. There's no way I'm going to respond to it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to pin it to the top of the video so everybody can see how much of a terrible person this is, and the internet can tear this person apart because they can do a much better job than I can.
Oh,
so inevitably, he ended up deleting his comment after he got 150 responses of people calling him a fucking moron.
Oh.
So that was pretty fun. But yeah, no, that was, I think, one of the only times I've ever really experienced furry hate, and I think I took care of it in a very, very fun and
Definitely
spiteful
fun.
manner.
Okay. Is anyone else in your family a furry?
No.
Okay. Do you have a fursuit?
I do, yes. It's not of Zillion, though I
Mhm.
am currently working on getting one for him, saving up for that. It's actually of a protogen I have named Baron. A protogen is this cybernetic furry that they generally are pretty new, but they look pretty cool. Have a visor for a face, digital eyes, whatnot. And the maker was me. I designed, 3D modeled, 3D printed, sewed, vacuum formed, finished the entire suit myself. So it was a huge learning experience, and I'm very thankful for that. It took a lot of sanding and Bondo to figure it out, but I'm definitely happy I did it. I'm going to try again, and I am currently working on printing out more, and hopefully I can get them available to other people as well.
Okay, well, that just answered 2 questions at once. That's good. How long have you been in the fandom for?
Oh, how long have I been? I think two and a quarter year.
Okay. What other fandoms are you in?
I am not. See, that's such an interesting word because I'm not really a part of any other. I'm a part of some other community, but they're not necessarily called fandoms. I'm a huge extreme sports outdoorsy person, so mountain biking, skiing, snowboarding, longboarding. Those are all things that I do quite regularly. I also do like some motorsports, so but it's mostly college related, so that's not really something that's a large portion of my life right now. But yeah, mostly mountain biking and winter sports is what I really do. So other fandoms, like other nerdy fandoms, isn't really something that I partake in. I come from a background of somebody who isn't actually that nerdy. I grew up playing sports, and I've never really sat down and watched TV shows or anything.
Okay. Well, I like playing sports, and with nerdy shit, I'm in the SCP fandom. Currently, we're pissed off at one guy who trademarked the logo. Um, which furries do you look up to?
It's a very interesting question because there are quite a few that I really look up to in the sense of for different reasons. One person that I really look up to is Eno. She's the same person who created telephone, and his telephone. But her personality and how she's able to handle some extreme stressful situations is different than anybody is something I really want to see in myself. And I really want to see that in myself. I don't consider myself to be a particularly nice person, and I think it shows. There's Memphis Methlat, who is a Lockheed Martin rocket engineer who is also a skunk. I look up to him just because he is the person who proves that, yeah, you can be a high-ranking engineer and be afraid trash and still basically get through it all. And I guess now, recently, I guess we can call James from the Odd Ones Out somebody I look
Oh
up
God,
to.
no, that's what you call a closet furry.
Yeah, but even so, I do look up to him because he also has the same mentality that Eno has, and he's just a very friendly person who is willing to talk to anybody who basically wants to have a genuine conversation with him. And that's something, especially with the amount of popularity that he has, a very genuine thing to see in somebody with that many subscribers.
I mean, look at Adler. They collaborated twice so far, and I bet they're gonna collab at least one more time soon.
That's very possible.
Yeah.